saying Alhamdulillah, saying Subhanallah, saying Allahu Akbar, saying La ilaha illallah, going between those various verses of praise, those statements of praise and those statements of remembrance is a way of keeping you connected, not just to the signs that are around you and contemplating them, but also connecting you to their maker and your maker, which is the ultimate goal of that tadabbur and of that tafakkur, right? So that's where tafakkur usually comes into play. It is contemplating on the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and connecting that to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as you contemplate those signs. And the quality of your worship that comes after that is incredible, right? If you do that, then the quality of your worship at night, the quality of your 5 salawat, the quality of your ibadat as a whole is just going to increase substantially. And there's also contemplating on the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Many scholars say that's where tadabbur is distinguished, which is another form of remembrance and introspection, but particularly pondering upon the verses of Allah, reading the Quran and reading those verses of Allah, those signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, while you are interacting with the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala outside. And have you ever read Quran on the outside in nature, right? It's a beautiful thing. So reflecting on the verses of Allah, looking around at the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and connecting yourself to those things. And then some of the scholars say i'tibar is a very unique type of reflection, like when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says fa'tabiru ya ulul absar, to take into account, people of al-absar, right? People who are of pure thought and people who are pure in their vision because of the purity of their thoughts. They are in contemplation and they think clearly. They have clarity of thought. Some of the scholars say i'tibar here is reflecting upon what happens to other than you and taking it into consideration in regards to yourself. Because when Allah Azza wa Jal talks about i'tibar, He talks about previous nations. He talks about other people. And so when you see things happen with others, past or present, you take that into consideration for yourself. Or some of the scholars said i'tibar is just generally taking yourself to account, reflecting, receiving things very personally as they're happening to seemingly other than you, whether that's the environment or people around you. Receiving them personally, right? What does this mean for me? What does this mean for me? So again, contemplating on the verses of Allah, contemplating on the signs of Allah, contemplating on yourself and how you can bring yourself closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then taking it all into account, whether it's happening to others or happening to the environment, taking it all into account as to what this means for me. So this is where you find the statement, tafakkuru sa'a khayrun min qiyami layla. To contemplate for an hour is better than praying an entire night. This is also, by the way, very much so connected to what we've been talking about of purifying your thoughts. And fasting is directly tied to purifying your thoughts. And so as you're purifying your body and purifying your soul and purifying your thoughts throughout the day, then the quality of your qiyam, the quality of your tarawih, the quality of your i'tikaf just is so much more because of your fasting during the day. And, just think about, if you don't have, and of course some people are not able to fast, right? And the difference between being able to fast and being able to pray at night, and the connection of those two, and not being able to fast for those that have an illness or are permanently unable to fast during the day, right? So there's a beautiful connection between the two as well. And even, of course, those that are not able to fast due to health reasons, medical reasons, the amount of Quran recitation that takes place during the day of Ramadan and the contemplation therein certainly increases the quality of the prayer in the day and especially at night.